Hello, welcome to the second look. And by the way, Tom, bravo! Some in-game management at Loftus Road meant that the first 45, the memories of that first half, were put to bed and we came out all guns blazing to dominate the R's at Loftus Road. Look, it was an interesting match. Oh yeah, I've said your name, but I'm Sam Davis.
I'm Tom Jordan.
This is Back of the Net, we're an AFC Bournemouth fan channel. Thank you so much for watching. We truly appreciate it. If you haven't already, you can like and subscribe because it truly helps us. Or if you're listening to us, just subscribe to the pod because we will be in your audio inbox every Monday night / Tuesday morning after a Cherries game. Tom, we are through.
We're in the hat, mate. We're in the hat. That's all that matters.
Yes.
Hopefully we do all right with the draw. I feel like it's always with this sort of competition. I think you just got to get a bit of luck with the draws. Because in the League Cup we thought, hang on, and then we get Liverpool. It's what it is. But yeah, we turned it around, mate. It was a proper game of two halves, I guess. But we got the job done. I felt it's a weird one, but I'm sure we'll get into it a little bit. But I remember talking to you at half time, and we were 2-0 down, not playing very well, and I went, I just don't think we'll lose. And that wasn't me being. I genuinely thought
Mystic Meg over there.
Yeah, I just genuinely thought we'll be fine. We'll come out second because you got to remember. I know we went 2 down, but Swansea first half awful. Stoke first half awful. This has been a theme in the cups, and then it's almost like they need to get a little bit of a right. Come on, boys. I know they're a league below and that, but up your levels a bit and we'll be fine. And we were again. So happy days. Bit of a tactical masterstroke in the second half as well.
So, for the topics of conversation of this pod, it's effectively over to you. We asked earlier today, what do you want us to cover? So we've got, obviously, cup conversation, transfer targets. We are slap bang in the middle of the January transfer window. Plus, defensive dilemmas. We talk over what we think Andoni Iraola may or may not do when we face Liverpool later on in the month. Plus, the Christmas leftovers. Yeah, we still haven't eaten them up. What are we talking about? The anonymous questions. Do you remember? We asked you for them, plus we asked you for a few more as well. We'll be going through them. So there is a lot to cover. We certainly can't wait to do it. So 2024 is upon us, which means a packed schedule of FA Cup, AFCON, and of course, Premier League action.
Yeah, so beat the January Blues and watch every game with the atmosphere it deserves down at your local Green King Sports Pub.
Don't settle for a dodgy stream because if it's on the telly, it's at your local Green King across their huge HD screens.
And I know, mate, because if you download the Green King Sports app, you'll receive 10% off every single drink whenever there's a game on.
Perfect. Their venues offer a range of low and no alcohol options, so dry January doesn't mean you have to settle for a worse sports watching experience. And you know what? I'm still dry 8 days in. At half time I felt like it, but it's fine. We're all good.
Oh, God.
So, Tom, the first half wasn't particularly good, but Bournemouth came good in the second. Afterwards, of course, we asked for some 5-word match reports, and these were some of them. Halftime bollocking made difference. Christie carries Cherries, challenging changes, said Simon. A match of 2 halves. The game lasts 90 minutes, said Mike. Christie, second half, enough said. A game of 2 halves. Bravo, said Morgan. Iraola ball to the rescue. Those were just some of them. We'll display the rest of them on screen now. But something he did, something he said at half time made a difference, because that first half was forgetful and it was pretty bad. But was it as bad as we all thought?
I don't think it was. I mean, it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad in the sense that it was weird. Obviously, I went down at 0-0.
So what was that? 38 minutes gone. 0-0.
0-0, go down. And while I was in the queue, because there was a queue, because there was not just me down there at 38. By the time I got to the front of the queue, we were 2-0 down. And I didn't expect us to go behind. I thought they said nothing's happening here. And yeah, we weren't great, but I didn't think they were either. Credit to them, because the kind of tactics they had, which you anticipated and expected really, was just play on the break, sit deep and try and catch us, especially Sinclair Armstrong with his pace. And they got in twice and they finished. That's all they did, but they were 2-0 up. I just felt that we weren't at our levels, they weren't great, and they were going to sit back even more because they had a 2-goal lead. As long as we got an early goal, I thought there's so much time to go here. I think we'll be fine in terms of getting at least a replay, I thought. And obviously we did get that early goal, so that changed everything. But yeah, it was more of it felt like a bit of a training, friendly kind of match in the first half, didn't it?
Yeah, it did a little bit.
It was just a bit dull, but I think that's been exactly the same at Swansea and Stoke in the other cup. I really do. And then when we turned it on, we were fine. I think, unfortunately, again, we had to make the changes. We've done the same at Stoke and Swansea. Made changes at half time to try and rectify it, really. And that's the only worry now, is there's a few fringe players that you're starting to think, is it going to work for them with this new style of play? And I'm not sure.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's going to be some questions to us which maybe pose that. We haven't seen many of them. We've seen glimpses of a few, but there are a few players that may be under question, under scrutiny as to where they're going to be after the transfer window closes. It was a tough watch, and there were a number of players who, good players who just weren't at it.
Yeah, there was
in that. I mean, David Brooks, Kiefer Moore.
I actually thought Billing and Scott in the first half. Second half, they were brilliant, by the way. The first half, they were hopeless.
So, what is it then? Is it just mentality? Is it the fact that they turned up thinking they could roll them over? Or is it the fact that there are some players who are pivotal to the side that when they're on the pitch, it just means everyone starts ticking? We all know who we're talking about. Yeah. However, in that first half, they just looked lost at the first touches, Alex Scott. Absolutely terrible, and there didn't seem to. I mean, look, we had a few shots on goal in the first half. It wasn't overly bad, but we got overly punished, especially on their left side.
Yeah, Aaron's quite
short, and didn't help things.
It was a weird one. I think Andoni kind of mentioned it after, and I thought he was spot on really what he was trying to say. What I think he was trying to say, what I read from it, was that it's rare that now, with the way we're playing and the teams we play every week, no disrespect to QPR, that we're going to be playing a team that's in the relegation zone of the Championship. So what I think started happening was, it was easy for us in the way that they were just sitting off. So we were just kind of knocking it around. But we've been successful of late because we've been so quick and energetic. And I think we kind of fell into the trap of, this is quite comfy, knock it around.
Yeah, I think we feel that when we've got the ball, that's all we almost need to do.
Yeah, so it just slows everything down.
We weren't moving the ball fast whatsoever. No. There was no intensity. I think I said it on the vlog. I think just the fact that we had the ball more than they did meant that we could slowly out-football them and slowly, start to assert our dominance in the game. And we didn't do that, and it only took 2 quick breakaways.
Yeah, because
we were done.
If you play like that, it's fine if you nick a goal. If you get the first goal, then we could have kept playing like that. It wouldn't have been as exciting, but we'd have kept the ball and probably controlled it. But yeah, we're not used to it, and I think we struggled with that, and it slowed the tempo. And yeah, they had that one threat really, and we struggled with it, which was a bit of a concern. Aaron's got caught out a few times out of position, but he was trying to provide a bit of width down that right side because Brooks wasn't providing any width. And then we got caught. Senesi was on the wrong side for the first goal. Him and Meps obviously kind of changed round. He got brushed off far too easily. I don't know if it's like accumulation of yellow cards meant he didn't want to bring him down, because I thought just bring him down. Him and Meps struggled with Sinclair Armstrong's just raw pace. And they got down again for the second, and it's a lucky goal, isn't it? But in terms of the deflection. But yeah, we just got caught a little bit down that side on the breaks, and that was all they're going to offer. So it was a little bit of a concern at half-time, thinking that's all they had and we didn't cope with it. But as I say, it was just how we started the second half, and previous evidence of, as I say, the other cup competition, Swansea and Stoke, where we started poorly in the first half against Championship opposition. I was confident that we'd come out and change it, and that's exactly what we did.
Yeah, we did change it, and it was good to bring on the players that we did. We'll go through the various graphics and timelines in a minute for you. We're not going to go all overboard on the QPR match. It is the FA Cup. Yeah. It is a second-rate tournament. Or is it? We can go to Wembley. Can we? Maybe we can. I found David Brooks really frustrating, and I'm worried. I'm worried for him. Yeah. I don't know if he fits the system. I don't know if he fits Iraola's style. I found a number of like mini situations within the games like really frustrating, whereby there was a time where he was hugging the touchline and Max Aarons was, slightly in. He was about 10 metres into the pitch and he was trying to get the ball to David Brooks, but there was a man in between him and Brooks. So Brooks, either hold your run or go for it, whereas Max Aarons tried to encourage him to go up the line and actually push forward. He didn't. And Max's ball just went out of play. And there were loads of just moments like that where I thought, he's not really clear on what we're doing at the moment. And you can blame that on lots of things, like the lack of game time that
of course
he's having. But he's witnessing how we play from on the bench, so he must know what Iraola wants to do. But it's just not happening for him at the moment. And I'm worried because I'm not sure he's in Iraola's plans going forward. I think Iraola perhaps wants him to be.
Yeah, because he's
but
clearly...
for some reason, it's just not happening.
I can imagine him training like he's unplayable. You know how skillful he is. Arguably one of the most skillful in our squad.
Absolutely.
One of the most talented. So I'm sure Iraola's going, God, look at this player. But every time he's played under Iraola, I'd say I was talking to Steve about it last night, and I think Brentford, when he come on, he made an impact, obviously got the goal. Apart from that, he's been pretty poor. And yeah, I think there's a, this happens sometimes where a player just doesn't fit a style. If he went anywhere, say at the moment it would be Championship on loan, but he could easily rise back to Premier League. He's got the quality, of course. He'll probably do really well somewhere, really, really well. But for us, I don't think he works in the system because as a wide player, he don't fit the system at all. He ain't got the pace. He ain't got that sort of. He don't want to play on the shoulder. I mean, he literally, when Aaron's was getting the ball, was in front of him half the time, going, "Give me it," and Aaron's going, "No, just go away." And then Kluivert never went near Aaron's because he just stayed. And Kluivert is not technically as good a footballer as David Brooks, but he's far more effective. Yeah. So that makes me think that okay, so if Brooks is going to have a role to play in this system and this gaffer, he's probably more suited to be in a 10 because of the lack. And then I go, Billing's better in the 10 than him. Kluivert's more effective in the 10. I think Scott could be more effective in the 10. Christie showed he could do a bit in the 10. So he's too far down the pecking order. David Brooks needs to be playing football. So yeah, it's a really frustrating one because he's clearly a quality footballer, but yeah, for me, he was really, really poor. And I haven't seen, I don't know if you're going to get up your old sexy average positions or whatever, but you've got it. Right, don't before you put it up, I mean, I'm going to look like an idiot if this ain't the case because I haven't looked. So we had two wingers, David Brooks and Sinistera. Average positions, I guarantee that Sinistera is a million times wider than David Brooks.
Let's see. So
I bet he's virtually in the middle of the park.
Yeah, so and there you go.
Look at what I said earlier, he was virtually on Aaron's. And that's just because that's the style of football. Brooks wants the ball to feet.
And look what happens when we make substitutions.
There's Justin Kluivert.
Yeah, more balance.
Yeah, and that's just Brooks as a footballer. He's going, give me the ball, I want to make something happen. Whereas Kluivert and City will go, I will go away.
How's Max Aarons meant to get up the pitch as well
exactly.
with David Brooks in front
I think
of him?
it affected
It's just
him.
It's stunted. And I think, him being on the pitch, sadly, stunted Aarons' performance because I don't think Aarons emerged brilliantly from that game. But in the second half, much improved.
Yeah, and I think the fact of the matter is at half-time you're 2-0 down to QPR and we're all going, well, Brooks got to come off. And that doesn't seem right, does it, for the quality he is? But we all knew he was going to come off. Yeah. The other change was a little bit more of a surprise. I don't think anyone said, I reckon, if someone said to me at half-time, I reckon we take Meps off and put Cook centre half, okay, you're absolutely lost the plot.
But you know what? Bournemouth do well when there's a Cook at centre half, but we just didn't all think it was Lewis. But there was, in a weird sort of way, I mean, this is the Iraola ball, this is the unpredictable Celtic football, but it's actually a masterstroke, really. Bravo. Because how good is it to have a ball-playing like centre-back that can see the whole pitch, knows what he wants to do, spread it out wide, has got the technical quality to find the players out wide or maybe thread the eye of the needle and find a midfielder in the middle of the pitch. I just think it was a superb... And it just makes me think, my God, we've actually got even more options going forward than we've ever thought.
Well, I think you look at it now, it's, as I say, I'm not going to pretend that I thought at half time that's what we should do. Obviously not, but that's why he's a top coach. And now you can look back at it and go, of course, because he's obviously looked at it and gone, right, they're 2-0 up. They're a team on the floor with confidence, really. They're not going to attack second half. So all I need from my centre halves is to be good on the ball. Well, Celesi is known to be good on the ball. Yeah. So sorry, Meps, but let's just put Lewis there because he's not really going to have any duels. He's just going to get the ball to his feet. And it just made perfect sense. I mean, I think Neil put it on. Neil Dawson put something on Twitter I saw that was bang on as well. How many managers just go, just chuck another striker on, but don't think about how you're going to get the ball to the striker. Yeah. And it just meant that every time, whether it's Trav just rolling it out the centre halves, we had two players that can pick a pass at centre back, and that's very rare. So yeah, it was absolutely masterstroke. And bringing Christie on into midfield, wow. I mean, he is almost getting to a point where he's just as imperative as Dom Solanke, which is crazy.
This is one of the things. When I saw the team lineups, we'll flash them up quickly now. Kiefer Moore up top, so yeah, no Solanke, no Christie, and this time we didn't have the luxury of having Dom Solanke on the bench like we did in the Carabao Cup against Swansea.
And Stoke.
And there and Stoke, and he changed that match, and he also changed.
I think he
the one
came
at
on at
Swansea.
half time in both.
Yeah, he did, and having him on within, not long at all, we were back in the game, but we didn't have that option. But Christie, he's becoming a talisman.
Incredible.
But are we treating Kiefer Moore almost like a replacement for Dom Solanke? Because I didn't see our style particularly change.
No.
In the first half, we were treating Moore the same as we were Dom, and then we were getting frustrated when Kiefer was doing stuff wrong. But he's not got the same technical quality that Dom's got.
No, I totally agree with that. Yeah, we can't expect Kiefer to do what Dom does, but then do we want to change everything because we've lost one striker? No. So I think Andoni's probably going to Kiefer. I know this is not how you used to play and probably what your attributes suit. But if you're going to be my backup to Dom, you need to do what Dom does against Championship centre-halves at the end of the day. And listen, Kiefer done what Kiefer does. He was frustrating for the majority. He put a header in. I mean, he come on against Palace. He scored a header. He is crucial for that. I mean, it's poor defending, but his goal, he just kind of just drifts in, bang. I mean, he's so lethal in the air. So you can see why so many clubs want him in the champ. But yeah, it wasn't really his fault, any of it. But Christie coming on, mate, we said it there, Scott and Billing in the first half were doing my head in. Second half, when they had Christie around them,
players.
They were unbelievable. They were unplayable. Billing was class. Got 2 assists in the end. Alex Scott, I mean, by the way, just keep Alex Scott on set pieces. Just stop trying other things. I mean, he is unbelievable at set pieces. But
what I found also that Lewis Cook's set pieces have improved though because of Alex Scott. I think some of his corners have been a lot better. They've been zipped in a lot faster, quicker, with a bit of curl. I mean, Alex Scott nearly scored himself from a corner, but finding that near post. Different routines will go through our goals very, very shortly. But we've got so many different combinations and options that we can now do just to bamboozle the opposition. Now, in the first half, it wasn't quite working. Do you think that... Because in my mind, I didn't think QPR were brilliant in the first half. No. Because when you see a Championship side that are low on confidence near the bottom of the Championship, beating a Premier League side that's some of the best form 2-0 with the nucleus of the players that we had. Philip Billing, Sinistera, Scott, Cook, Senesi, Tavernier. That's a lot of experience. So, but then I felt as though they weren't brilliant though.
No, I didn't think they were very
good. We were just poor, and that sounds like a little bit of a salty thing to say.
We were just knocking it around, doing nothing.
We were awful.
Yeah, we were just too comfy, as we kind of mentioned. Like, we were just knocking it around, but there was no real urgency with it. And I think we weirdly almost needed them to counter and get a goal or 2 in the end to just mean, okay, we need to go back to what we're good at with this high tempo and stuff. Let's not, they're quite happy for us to just knock the ball around because we're not hurting them. But they were kind of as I expected. They're not a team full of confidence. They're in a relegation zone for a reason. To be honest, I know it's a silly thing to say because they would have wanted to win the game, but it's probably better for them to just get out, mate. They need to focus on the league. And actually, let's put this right. They did have, I would say, when I think of QPR, I think obviously Steve Cook is going to be one of their best, if not their best centre half. Ilias Chair is probably their best player, and Chris Willock's one of their better players. Yeah. So they did miss a few big players as well that might have just allowed them to try and hurt us a little bit more. So, give them credit for making a blooming good cup tie of it, to be fair. Begovic had a good game as well, I thought, which was, it was nice to see him, and had the armband on, and he got a nice little reception from the crowd, made a few really good double saves later on. But yeah, I thought ultimately in the end it was a game where we didn't start very well. They caught us on a break, and then we just upped the levels a little bit because of the quality we've got available to us, mate. The only concerns, like I say, Brooks obviously was a concern that we've spoke about enough. Rothwell not getting on the pitch. I mean, if he can't get on the pitch in a cup game against Championship opposition, then
concerning.
Yeah, he knows he's surplus to requirements. Really, he's probably only not been let go because of Tyler Adams' injury, because we need him in case of any more injuries. Shame we couldn't see Emmy come on. It would have been nice, but we weren't in a position to do that, unfortunately. Nice to see Adu Ajay get his debut, and actually, I thought again, Tavernier done okay at left back.
Yeah, he did do well.
Maybe we've got loads of left backs.
He also managed to get forward quite a bit as well. As you can see from the heat maps, you can see that left hand side there is absolutely bristling with activity, and of course, Sinistera was integral with that. It does feel like that's our side for AFC Bournemouth. Like a lot of the good things happen from that left side, and you can see how their left side is, barely used at all. But 2 quick breaks, that's all they needed, and they were 2-0 up. But look, right, on Friday, Ryan Frank.
Oh yeah,
he's now departed the country, so no one can hold him to ransom for what he did. He just had a walk over by the training ground. He sent me a text. He said, I've just been walking past. He wasn't standing there watching or whatever, but he could see various players, including, by the way, Marc Ondes.
Yes, he was obviously
in this kind of corner routine manoeuvre. That happened on Saturday, and they scored it, albeit they probably would have done it with a deflection, but it was that ball into the near post, it then flicked back, and then someone running in. It was planned, and it worked, and it got us back into the game. And it was a story of like 3 10-minute spells, wasn't it? Because we scored, 10 minutes late we scored again, 10 minutes late we scored yet again, and it was all from that side. Then an Alex Scott corner, Kiefer, right place, right time, just with a flick. He actually came from nowhere, because when you watch the all-angle footage on AFCB, he's not even in frame.
No, when you watch
he just ghosts in.
They've got the player that's marking him obviously can't keep up with him at the back post, and then he comes to the near post, but you've got to have someone just blocking off that space. He just runs into the near post space. Someone's got to be blocking him off there, but great set piece.
I feel for a defender though when you got a 6'12" lump like him or whatever he is. You running in, what can you do? But really good flick. And then the winner, which was really good. I mean, was it a foul from Phil Bill or not?
At the time I thought it was. Watching it back, never a foul.
A lot of irate fans just in front of him.
He just nicks the ball off him.
A bit of a shoulder though?
Yeah, a little bit of a shoulder, but you clearly see him just nick the ball off him. I don't think their player was actually moaning that much, which says a lot. But I remember at the time when he's running through, I'm going, bloody pass, it took ages.
But you know what? Patience is key, and he didn't have anyone really around him, to be fair, so he had time to pick out that pass. And I was thinking, when's he going to play it?
Perfect.
Clivert runs in at the right time and just put it on a plate for him.
And again, you never know, but my thinking is because Clivert gets on the end of it, the back, is Brooks there? I don't think he is. I don't think Brooks naturally would make that sprint and run to the back stick. I think he would come to the penalty spot. Do you know what I mean? And want a cutback. I just think that's the way Clivert is. So again,
I think some players are wired just to get in the box and be that kind of predator.
But please for Clivert, I mean, his record is absolutely outrageous now in terms of goals and competition. He scored in like every competition going. I mean, we played last night down Broadstone, and I think he's probably scored there. He's probably been there once. He scores at everything. I think it was...
But could he do it on a rainy Sunday night? I mean, it is indoors.
It is indoors.
There's a challenge to you, Justin. Come on down.
We got a few last night, didn't we, mate? But yeah, it was really nice for him because I think he's one of them players that seems to have fit the style really well, but he's not getting like loads of plaudits because I don't think every game he's never really the standout.
No, he isn't.
But he's starting to get the numbers. We will say about the numbers, and he is starting to... You feel like he can pop up with a goal. And he's very likeable, he's very energetic, and he does suit us really well. And we've seen him start his career on the left, move into this 10 role, and he actually come in on the right. Yeah. So that's nice that he can play all them roles. So yeah, really pleased for him. And then they didn't have a shot in the second half. They had that one cross that kind of got bundled just wide.
Yeah, Max Aarons came in with the last
really good block, to be fair.
Challenge, but really...
What I did like, what I want to say is, because all they did after at 3-2 was chuck a few balls in, and Travers just come out and claimed them.
Travers was good.
I thought he was really good at that.
Would Neto do that?
No comment. But he come out and claimed them. Neto would have, but no El Marino. But I thought Travers was absolutely fine. He didn't have much to do. Shame for the second one because that deflection's horrible, isn't it? But yeah, I thought everyone, like I say, there's a few in there that you're not sure if they fit the style too much, unfortunately. But apart from that, I think it was a good day at the office, mate. We're in the hat. Got the rest. I mean, Zavadi comes on at the end, but he was virtually rested. I do think that I'm bloody pleased we ain't got a game because I think Solanke has got a knock because in the other 2 cup games, like we said, he's been on the bench.
Yeah, but we didn't.
He would have bought him on at half time.
Yeah, I hope he's all right.
Well, just remember that Tottenham, landing and stuff. I think he's got a slight knock. I don't think he would have started anyway, but I think he would have been there. So hopefully he's all good. But he's got a few weeks to rest, mate. So happy days. Yeah.
So the story of the 2 halves can be seen via the shots chalkboard, where in the first half, we still outshotted them. However, you can see overall, it completely changes, doesn't it? They didn't register a shot in the second half on target by the looks of it. So yeah, all good, all good. Cherries are into the 4th round. So who do you want to face? Well, by the time you're watching this, you will
Who do you want, by the way?
already know. Who do I want?
What's it? Right, okay.
You know what? Maidstone.
Yes, I would say dream for me would be Maidstone away.
And that's not, away. And that's not because, and it's good for them.
Oh, yeah.
TV money, hopefully, unless BBC and ITV pick an all Premier League tie yet again.
Yeah,
everyone wants to watch Villa Burnley or whatever, I don't know.
It was Tottenham Burnley, actually.
Okay.
I think Maidstone, I've been to most grounds, so I love it if there's a ground I haven't been to. So Maidstone would be great, it's not too far. I'd probably take Newport or Eastleigh. I think they drew, because Eastleigh's round the corner if they were to win.
Yeah, Silver Lake.
And Newport's just happens to be one of the grounds I've never been to, because I can't remember us ever playing them, because they kind of come through the leagues as we were going up. Actually. So I've never been to Newport, so I'll take that. I would probably take any home tie against anyone that's not in the Prem.
I mean, it doesn't matter. You're saying all this, it doesn't matter because people know.
Yeah, true.
People know.
People know it's Liverpool away. Yeah. Or Norwich again. I think they got a draw. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would love to slap Wrexham about. I've got to be honest. But yeah, I know we'll get Liverpool away. So what's the point?
What is the point?
Scummers at home, Ryan Fraser.
You know what? We've got some questions that we need to finish off. Some anonymous questions that came in, and we are so delighted that everyone got involved with this. We've got absolutely tons to go through.
I'll let you know if I'm delighted.
We're going to work through them now, and these are our Christmas leftovers, right? Because let's be fair, we had a few over Christmas, but there were some that came in on Christmas Day and after that. So let's go through them now. We'll zip through them as quick as we can.
I'll get slaughtered again, am I?
Offer one piece of advice to Eddie at Newcastle.
Oh, offer one piece of advice to Eddie at Newcastle.
It's very difficult when he's doing relatively.
I mean, he is doing
so well. I mean, the Premier League form's a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, that is tough, isn't it?
I can't think of anything.
Advice to Eddie. I mean, it's difficult now, but I tell you what, we don't know who they got in the next round. You guys do. They're beating Sunderland, which was obviously big for them. Go for a cup. Go for that FA Cup. Yeah. Because if you don't get Europe, say they come 8th, I mean, I think they'll be fine and get into one of the Europe places, but say they come 8th, if they won a cup, them Newcastle fans... They would absolutely love it. Yeah, you saw how close they were in the League Cup and how much that did for them to get to a final. And people will start asking questions, won't they, if they don't. Obviously, I think there was context to it, but he never really did for us. Yeah. Go for the cup. Go for a cup. There you go, that's my advice. There you go, that's his advice. I'm sure Eddie would want my advice as well. Propose one new rule and one rule amendment for the beautiful game. Oh, okay. I mean, we spoke about sin bins, didn't we, once recently? And you're not for that because if your team's down to 10 men for the next 5 minutes, then you'll just park the bus for a bit. Yeah. So that's not one of yours. I think one of the ones that I heard previously was take the penalty in when it goes to extra time. Take the penalty shootout before, and then you know what the outcome is, and then you've got to either win it, but then would that mean they'd part of the bus as well? I was going to say, if you win the penalty shootout, you just put 10 men behind the ball. That's what I mean. I'm just thinking of the spectacle more. In terms of rule amendment, get VAR. Just chuck it. Get rid of it. That's literally my rule amendment. I'm trying to think of a good new rule. You know what? A new rule for the last 10 minutes. Throw-ins are replaced by kick-ins. Yeah, I like that. After 80 minutes, if you're chasing the game, whip the ball into the box. If you've got a long throw to you can still do it. You can still do a throw, but you're allowed the option of you can just put the ball down and cross it. Yeah, that's cool. I'd love that. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, I'm trying to think of a way that just... I think when they did it in Europe a while ago where they brought in the away goal rule, and that was because teams away would just sit back and go for 0-0. So it was trying to get goals, and that's what I'm trying to think. How can you get more goals? Do we just go for a season, just go, no offsides? Just know everyone, just go for it. It'll be great fun. But yeah, I'm not sure. I have to think about that. I quite like the fact that now in free intervals you can have 5 subs. I think that's good. I think I've said it before that offsides, in my opinion, just do it with the feet. Don't worry about where their heads are. Just do it with the feet alone. Put microchips in the boots, whatever. Make it easy to work out. That's what I Stop being scared to book goalkeepers for time wasting because they wait until they've done it 10 times. 1, 2, 3. Just do it straight away. They won't do it again. And start sending. I've never seen. There probably must be a time where it's happened. I've never seen a goalkeeper who's on a card, because he continues to time waste, get a second yellow.
Yeah.
We never get another one, do they?
True, yeah, true.
Just send someone off. Just give us more pens as well.
Yeah, give us more pens. Which 3 current players do you think have the highest potential ability? Alex Scott, is that?
Alex Scott.
Yeah.
Ilya Zabani. I mean, Solanke's still going to...
Are we talking about young players? Or
Well, I guess that who's got the highest ceiling, I guess.
Yeah,
Who could end up at Man City, who could be in Nathan Ake? I would say Zabani, Scott, definitely.
Yeah.
Dom's been at big clubs.
Yeah.
Even though I think Dom is class, I'm just trying to think who could be the other one.
Are we talking like a Justin Kluivert or someone like that?
Nah,
Maybe?
not for me.
No.
I think he's...
Semenyo?
Nah, I don't think I think he's class, but I don't think he'll go to a big... I'm thinking who could go to a big club.
Kirkez.
That's what I was going to say. There's a left back, he's a teenager still.
Yeah, yeah.
Kirkez, Zabani and Alex Scott, yeah.
Great question.
Ryan Frederick on.
When did you last cry? That's a question.
When did I
last cry?
I'm a crier as well. I am a crier.
Oh, yeah.
I can't think the last time I cried, though. I don't want to be too deep as well.
I watched a drama the other day on TV and a little tear went down my face.
What drama
was it? I don't know what it was.
Emmerdale or something?
I've got no idea.
Was it like a crime drama?
It was like a Netflixy thing.
Right, yeah. Oh, when did I want to know when I last cried.
How I think.
But to be fair, I don't get too deep. It might have been...
Do you ever cry at football?
Yeah.
I've cried over football?
Yeah, but more happy. I've cried more happy.
Charlton.
And...
I mean, I cried tears of joy at Spurs away. I didn't when we beat Man United recently. I didn't. But Spurs, I definitely did.
Yeah.
Tears of joy, 100%. You know what? Actually, when we got promoted as well.
Yeah.
When they did the Nonny chant, like never to be heard again.
Yeah.
That sort of made me quite emotional when they played it after the Forest game.
Yeah.
That was quite nice. And then even that's on the vlog, and I get a bit, that sort of choked me up a little bit. But I think what was it on Netflix I watched? But it was a sad scene.
Yeah.
And but I try to be a man about it. Like,
yeah.
I'm not crying.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I've cried a few of the Gervais things. Afterlife, Derek. They've there's little moments in there have made me a little bit. Nice. But yeah, not really. I think the last time was probably Jefferson Lerma's signs for Crystal Palace.
Tom.
Yeah.
You're sacked from back of the net.
Oh, am I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cry.
No.
All right.
Go on my own. I don't need you.
What's the worst thing you've witnessed an AFCB fan do?
Oh.
God. You know what? I do. I mean, I won't name names.
Yeah.
No,
don't name names, Jesus.
No, I'm not going to name names whatsoever.
I saw one with a half and half scarf. That's probably the worst thing in football. One of the signs that say, "Oh, Clive, I love you. Give me a."
This was back in the day.
Oh,
back when we had a bit of an element. I mean, we probably have a little bit of an element now that is very casual. However, I remember walking across the field at Kings Park and one Bournemouth fan. There was a little bit of tension between two sets of supporters as they were walking back from the game, or was it going to the game? And I saw some fan with a metal pole, like a small metal pole inside a Tesco's plastic bag.
Really?
Yeah.
When he was definitely a Bournemouth fan?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I know him.
Oh, well, I'll ask you off air.
I did know him.
Yeah.
Do know him. It's fine.
That's right.
And I was, what's going on here?
Yeah. Tiggs does get Larry, doesn't he?
He actually does. But I haven't seen him for a long time.
What was it like, lower leagues?
Yeah, lower league days. I was thinking, what are you doing with that?
Maybe he had a job to do after.
Yeah, perhaps he was a scaffolder.
Yeah, exactly.
Just taking his work to the football.
Yeah,
I was thinking, hang on a sec, is that like what's going on here? Because I was a bit young and naive. I was like, he's not gonna. But I didn't actually see it happen. But that's potentially what an AFC fan could do.
Up there with a metal pole.
But it is half and half scarves.
Half and half scarves, metal pole, and I heard a group of fans trying to rhyme tequila with Sanasi.
Did you?
Yeah.
We might have another song coming later on, which I'm going to ask you to sing based on one of the feedback forms that I took a glimpse at.
Okay.
Rank in priority the order of these competitions for next season. Now, I suppose this is not for AFC Bournemouth.
Does it say, because it says Europe, does it?
I mean, it says Europa League. I mean, it could.
Yeah.
I mean, okay. Let's say that let's hypothetically we did get into Europe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and let's call it the conference, right?
Yeah.
So,
and let's say we've done it by winning the FA Cup, which means we'll be in the Community Shield, because Community Shield's there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Okay. We've won the FA Cup.
Yeah.
So, Premier League, Europa Conference, FA Cup, League Cup, Community Shield. What are our priorities? I would always say Premier League should be top because we want to stay.
Agree.
We want to stay in the Premier League.
Yep. Second would be Europe for me.
Yep.
FA Cup, League Cup, Community Shield.
Yeah, okay.
I think that's quite comfortable. Some people would say FA Cup maybe, but I think Europe would be more about. We wouldn't be thinking about winning it, would we? We would just be thinking about enjoying it.
Like speaking of the FA Cup and like the way that ITV and BBC have done their TV picks, which has been awful for the lower league clubs, but also like some people were talking about like scrapping replays and stuff, which for Premier League. But lower league clubs need that. I mean, you're getting a 1-1 draw at either home or away, and then bringing them back or going to their place and having a share of the receipts. It's huge.
There was Thomas Frank said about...
It was Thomas... Yeah, that's it.
He said it, because obviously Brentford have got a replay against Wolves, and he said about scrapping them. He needs to be careful because Brentford, not long ago, were in money problems, like we were, not that long ago, and a few replays in that they were in debt. That would have helped them get out of debt. It would have earned them £500,000, which could have cleared some of the debt. So you've got to be careful with it. From a selfish point of view, if you're a Premier League club, you go, I don't want another game, I get that. But in a wider picture, I really felt for, I think it was Chesterfield away at Watford, they conceded last minute. And you could just tell that it wasn't the fact they were out, they thought, that draw, bring them back to Chesterfield, they're in the conference now, National League, sorry. So, yeah, I think replays are they're absolutely monstrous for the smaller clubs, so you can't scrap them at all.
What about...
Just deal with it. Play the young player. You're a Premier League team, you've got a big enough squad, deal with it.
What about for a potential rule change? Because look, the FA Cup, is there integrity in it anyway, where some grounds have VAR and then some don't, so you can have an identical situation happening in one stadium.
Ridiculous. And
it will be awarded a goal, but not in the other because they haven't got the cameras. Like what? Yeah. However, what about this? In the third round, and above maybe, if you're drawn against a team maybe 2 divisions below or more, that team has the choice of whether it's home or away.
Okay.
Because at home you obviously get, home advantage, but then away you'll get a bigger share of the money. For instance, if like Maidstone were drawn against, I don't know, Man United or whatever, or Man City or Liverpool or whatever, you sort of want to play them at home but then playing them away, getting 50% of that, that's an absolute financial...
Well, that's the thing. If Maidstone were to get Man U might not go through, who knows, while we're recording. Yeah. But say Maidstone got Man United at home and they were 1-0 up with 5 minutes to go, Maidstone, there would be there's a world where the owners and stuff would go, I wouldn't mind Man U getting a late leveller here, and we go to Old Trafford. That's how big it is. So ownership might even say, I prefer a draw than win. Getting them games, so it is massive, and I know what you mean. There's got to be a way to do it, but then I've heard people say, there shouldn't be all Premier League ties, but then that's an advantage to the Premier League teams because they're playing a team weaker. Yeah. Like at least now we've seen Arsenal out already, because they had Liverpool, for example. So I've seen that because it's League Cup week in at semi-finals next couple of days, and they've scrapped VAR because it's not fair because Middlesbrough haven't got blah blah blah. So they need to look at all that sort of stuff.
Are you worried about Bill Foley's age? Do you worry about the succession of ownership to someone else and what they may do to the club? Well, put it this way, I think he's going to live forever. I've not put him on Vlad's death sweep. Yeah. If you've not seen that Twitter account, look it up. Vlad's, maybe don't. It's a bit morbid. However, look, are you worried? I think there is a succession plan.
Yeah, there will be.
And they would be stupid not to have one.
Of course. They're not
he is older, of course.
Yeah.
But he's obviously in very, very good health.
Yeah, and it's not going to be a case where no one knows what they're doing when he goes or whatever. I think his son is starting to be involved in some capacity without hearing too much about it, I believe. So no, I'm not worried. I mean, as long as he's in good health, which it seems he is, I'm not concerned about that in terms of what they're talking about, which is a succession plan afterwards.
You're walking down the street, and on the left you see Ryan Fraser being mauled by a bear. And on the right, Chucky Ereban about to sign a new 10-year, £50 million contract with us. You can only intervene with one. Which is it?
Chucky.
And so you would intervene.
Okay. So I have to intervene with one of them, they're saying.
Yeah.
I have to choose. I'd probably go over to Chucky. Can we have a little chat with him? I'd say to Chucky, if Chucky's there on his own, I'll go, fair play to you, mate. Sign up. I'll go, I like you. You're a good lad.
So you would not intervene and try to break up a mauling of Ryan Fraser by a bear.
As long as the bear was winning comfortably, I'm not nothing about that at all. I'll might get a photo.
I suppose the way that's worded.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's saying they're both bad things.
Yeah.
Which one would you rather stop happening? Well, definitely rather stop Chucky signing. I don't care about Fraser getting mauled by a bear. Why would I stop that? I'd encourage the bear, maybe. Maybe a bit of encouragement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's.
I'd assume it.
Either way, like whatever that Ryan Fraser song is that we're not supposed to be singing, Tom's happy with that.
I'd assume that Fraser's they're probably having a game or something and he's decided not to turn up. So, yeah.
Michael B. Jordan hoodie and a new kit. What's that all about? Oh, yeah, did you see that? He was at training the other day.
Yeah, I've seen the hoodie.
Is it like some American website?
Yeah, I can't remember
what it is. With an AFC. And is there something about a new kit? Did you say that in the car on the way up to... Where did we play at the weekend? I can't remember, QPR.
Yeah.
You said... that teams have licence to do a one-off special kit for the FA Cup, is that right?
Yeah, like a fourth kit or something. I think Palace done it for one of their charities in the game against Everton.
Arsenal did it.
I think that was to do with kind of knife crime and stuff.
No More Red.
No More Red, that's it. So I think you've got licence to have like kind of a special. So I wonder if they're thinking more about that potentially. I think everyone needs to calm down a little bit. I think he's probably just like ticking off out of a few designs. I don't think he sat there with a doodle pad making the kit. And in terms of hoodie, I can't think of it right now, but I did find someone put a link up to where it is, and there's like a limited edition amount of these. You can get me a t-shirt as well with this little badge on. I think they're about $30 or something. But yeah, looked alright.
What did you make of the female ref on Saturday? Well, firstly, just because she's female, you have to put it. What did you make of the ref on Saturday? That's what you're meant to be saying, right? I thought she was poor in parts.
Yeah, no better or worse than what you see regularly, really.
She got better as the game went on, but I think we were probably focusing on the problems more. But there was she booked Phil Billing.
Yes, I think that was it was definitely yellow because Billing goes like that.
Yeah,
which is a yellow card. But how the player didn't get booked, I won't know.
Exactly. Yeah, that's
But there's a few decisions that you think, just like every game, where I thought that's a bit harsh, and Lewis got yellow, and I thought, how did none of theirs get yellow? Some of their time. But it wasn't a horrific display. There wasn't any massive calls. I didn't think like penalty decisions, stuff like that. So, okay.
Okay, yeah. You have to make 3 swaps with 3 other non-top 6 English clubs.
Right.
1 squad, 2 manager, 3 stadium.
Well, I guess non-top 6. So I guess they're saying Man U, Man City, Liverpool,
Are we talking
Chelsea,
about the big six?
Arsenal,
the big 6,
Tottenham.
I presume.
Yeah.
So, squad,
Villa.
what?
Villa.
Yeah.
Actually, no. I'm going to go squad. I just think they're getting the better. Actually, yeah, it's got to be Villa.
Newcastle?
I think Villa got a better squad. I think it's got to be Villa.
All right.
It has to be Villa.
What about?
But then I was going to say Emery.
Would you? Say?
No. What am I talking about? Villa squad. Eddie Howe.
Yeah. And then stadium. I mean, are we going to say one that is?
Yeah, I know what I'm doing.
We're not going to go too big.
No, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And that's the Villa squad. Eddie Howe in charge. A Kenilworth Road, baby.
Not Brentford or something.
Nah, let's go Kenilworth. Love it. Love it.
Oh,
I'll buy the house.
Yeah, you probably would, mate.
Just sit there at the top. Yeah, lovely. I'd make sure I'm friends with the person that lives there anyway. Do you know what I mean?
Joey Barton, WTF? Thoughts, boys? I mean, his tweets have been causing some friction on social. I don't know if you've realised this. I actually blocked him the other day. Not to make a stand because he's not going to realise. I just don't want to see his tweets. Yeah. I just don't want to see them. And look, I think some of his opinions that he says are laced with things that he shouldn't say. Yeah. For instance, comparing certain female pundits to mass murderers and stuff. I mean, what the hell? I mean, there's a better way to criticise a female pundit. And look, I think his problem is that they have no experience within the male game.
Just let it crap.
But we've got no experience within the male game in terms of a decent level. But we're here running, and like Arsenal Fan TV's got 1.5 million subscribers, and it's one of their sort of most viewed channels on YouTube. Some of their ratings are better than some Sky Sports games and TNT. So what are they? Is like Robbie not allowed to say what he wants to say because he's never played at a professional level before?
How far do we go down? We go, well, Eddie Howe can't manage the Champions League. He never played there. That's a load of rubbish. Like, how far do we go? I've got a rash down that I haven't, but for argument's sake, I've got a rash down there. I go in, doctor, best doctor in the game, female. Okay, you ain't got that. And it's a load of crap, absolute load of rubbish.
I think he's obviously. I mean, there's
he's got a new pod coming out.
Yeah, exactly. And there's one pundit that's being targeted particularly, and I don't particularly think she's great either.
No,
but then there are also male pundits that are also
Michael
atrocious. But the get out clauses, they've played the professional game.
I don't care.
But then some of the things they say, I mean, like even Jamie Redknapp, this is a corner flag.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
We know,
Good goal,
Jamie. So yeah, I mean, Jerry Barton can get in the bin.
Yeah, toss it.
What are your thoughts? Safe standing. What are your thoughts on safe standing AFCB? Something the club put out.
Yeah, good stuff.
Last week, I think it's like row J and above.
Yeah.
And what happens if that's going to be from the Man City game? And I think if you're sat there, and especially if you're in row K and above, if you're sat down, you probably won't be able to see what is going on because there's going to be a person in front of you. But people who do prefer sitting are being offered the chance to relocate. But I just hope in similar vantage points.
Yes.
Maybe not the same stand, but maybe just a row below or something. But it's not going to please everyone. No. But safe standing is the thing that we've all been crying out for.
Yeah, I'm pleased with it. I think the atmosphere is not great at home. It would be great to try and change that. Obviously, you can't. If you make any sort of changes, there's going to be some people that are going to be unhappy. I think my
would you change your seat because you're row E?
Yeah, no, I'd probably think about it. I mean,
if you had the offer to...
I will at the end of the season, apparently.
Yeah.
If you want to, you can apply to move. So I'll think about that when it comes. But I think my grandparents, when we went up to the Premier League, they were over in the main stand and they were right at the back and they had to move because of the press and stuff and the cameras and that. It's not ideal, they don't want to move. But, change and progress and all this stuff.
Happens.
Unfortunately, some people, and I do feel for people that potentially like to sit down and now got to move. It's not their fault. But unfortunately, you can't please everyone. I, overall, am happy we've got safe standing. I don't think they've done it for the atmosphere. I think they've probably been told.
No, but it probably will, as a byproduct of what's happening, will improve the atmosphere. And that's one thing we've been crying out for ages because we're too, sedentary, I think, of the football. And I think we need a better atmosphere at Newport. And if it helps that, then I'm all for it. So fair play. Great question there. All-time favourite AFC Bournemouth player? We've probably answered this on the last one, did we, Fletch?
I was about to say 3-2-1 Steve Fletcher, yeah.
All right, yeah. Please mention the money spent last summer and previous January. This isn't Little Bournemouth now. The aims and ambitions for this and next season. Survival isn't enough now. And also which teams you want to come up from the Championship. Okay. We aren't the same club, are we?
No, we know that.
We aren't. But I think people from the outside look at the stadium.
Yeah, of course.
And that's the thing, we'll always be, that's our identity, I suppose. That's the bricks and mortar assets, even though we don't own them. That's what people always look at when they judge the size of the club. But you're right, off the pitch, we're spending a lot of money.
Yeah, small steps up the division. Like I say, this season, make sure you stay up. You just keep plodding along is what we want. We want progression, of course. You got to remember it because you've got to get things right because there's been so many teams in the past. I actually think of QPR when they came up and got Brazilian goalkeeper and Rio Ferdinand, and all they went straight back down. So you've still got to get it all right. It's not just about splashing the cash, but we've got to look forward. I think in terms of coming up and realistic, because there's no point of saying Rotherham when they're bottom of the league. I don't want Southampton and Leeds to come up, obviously. Leicester are going to come up, and I'm fine with that because Leicester is a decent away day. I don't mind it.
But
Ipswich should be cool because it's a new team.
Why don't you want to? I mean, Southampton's a great away day, isn't it? Really?
No, not really.
I mean, it's local. We all get on the trains.
6 points,
and we'll beat them.
Yeah, probably. But no.
Leeds, no. Loads of views on YouTube.
I can't be asked for that, and it's a trek. So I don't want, say, Sunderland, Middlesbrough because of how far it is. We've got to go to Newcastle. Trying to think, I don't want Howe, who are just on the edge, so it's not ideal because you always want one a little bit more local.
You know how I'd want to come up there?
I'll tell you what, go on.
Bristol City. I would love them to get, but they're nowhere near.
No, Coventry are not far from playoffs. I'll take Coventry. I like Coventry as an away day. Good booze. What was it called?
Longford Engine.
Longford
Engine. Loads of queues though.
So I got kind of realistic that I'd go Leicester, Ipswich, Coventry.
Okay. When Bournemouth score, do you celebrate like Bournemouth have just scored the winner in the Champions League final every time? Do we do that? I don't think we do. I mean, at QPR, it was very... you had a quiet word with me at 2-2. You weren't limbs. You were just like, Sam, can I just say something?
I told you.
You told me.
No, I'd celebrate because...
Well, because it's our club that we love. I mean, are we not allowed to celebrate? the thing is, I hate on Twitter and X is the social media, the celebratory police.
Yes, gatekeeping of celebrations is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Just enjoy it.
You know, they've celebrated. You know, for instance, like when we played Luton in the Championship season, when they won 3-2, that last minute was it Naismith who scored that.
Right.
That 3-2 goal, and fans were on the pitch. Well, there were a few fans on the pitch. There were players on the pitch. They were all hugging and stuff.
Enjoy it.
Just let them.
Enjoy it.
Brilliant, and fair play to them. And look, it's a last-minute goal against a team that is in and around the promotion race. So
Just
why not? But
enjoy
even
it.
if they're not, enjoy it.
Just enjoy it.
I celebrate a strike at 10-pin bowling like I've won the Champions League.
Yeah.
Anyway,
impressive.
Next question. Right. Looking at the players that have become marginalised. Now, we alluded to this earlier. Brooksy. So which players have become marginalised and players that have become key, like Semenyo? Is this a reason why results have improved? I mean, there are a few players that I think are going to be struggling going forward under Andoni Iraola's system, and Brooksy is one of them. But I suppose if we're looking at the key players as well that have maybe taken us by surprise, Semenyo is definitely one of them, isn't he?
Yeah, and he's one that the opposite of Brooks has benefited with the style because of the way he plays.
Joe Rothwell, I think, I don't know where he fits in terms of players being marginalised.
Yeah, because he's not a bad footballer. It's just I just don't think it quite works.
But why though? Because he's good, isn't he?
I don't think he's all right. He's quite comfy. I don't think he gets about the pitch enough. I don't know. I haven't seen that too much of him, to be fair. But yeah, there's obviously a reason for it. But yeah, I think that's what happens. I always think a good example I thought to make was last season we had Jack Stevens on loan, and he was really pivotal, wasn't he, at the end with his defending, his ball, just blocking. He clearly wasn't a great footballer, but perfect defender for a relegation battle. If we had not let Gary Neal go, I'd have said try and get Jack Stevens back because he'll suit how Gary plays. He'll be a really good defender for him. In an Iraola system, he'd be useless.
Yeah, true.
And that's just the way it is. Certain players fit certain systems, and Semenyo is definitely one for that.
Right, we're going to zip through the rest of these questions now. With Arsenal sniffing around Solanke, would you take Jesus and 20 million for the swap in January?
No.
Okay. No, that's it. You
I don't want someone else on the blooming medical room. Jesus.
Right, Tom, I said you got to sing a song. Right, here we go. We had this chart. I've been thinking about key Bournemouth songs and chants, and I think that -17 could be reintroduced with a change to the ending. Tom Jordan, take it away.
Do you want me to do it properly as well?
Yeah.
Bournemouth had a dream on -17. We had no money, so we signed the players on loan. We came from the back with pace and attack. We're AFC Bournemouth. We still have a dream. I wasn't expecting that.
We're AFC Bournemouth. We still have a dream. Hang on, that doesn't rhyme with attack or back.
No, it doesn't quite, does it? We'll work on that.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Muzz. Appreciate that. Top man.
Maybe
Really
put
appreciate
Muzz
that. Would you be unhappy if they got rid of VAR? Said Roy. Would you be unhappy? Mate, I'll be But then think of those moments that we've had. Dan Gosling at Chelsea.
I don't care.
I mean, it didn't save us that season anyway.
Don't care. I would celebrate. I would celebrate like mad if I got it. I don't care. Are you going to get... Right, we'll have a few decisions that will go, VAR was there, that wouldn't have got it. Who cares?
Can I play devil's advocate?
No.
Andoni Iraola would not be AFC Bournemouth manager if it wasn't for VAR.
He would. He would.
Would he?
Yeah, because Liverpool wouldn't have got a penalty at Anfield. Maybe. I don't know. There would have been so many decisions in every game. Who cares? But at the end of the day, I'd rather just go, ref was crap today, whatever, move on, it happens to everyone, rather than going, ref was crap today, and then he got loads of people on the screen somewhere, and they were crap as well, so we had to look at it again, and that was crap. It just does my head in. When you go to games every week like we do, I just can't be arsed with it. It does my head in, get rid of it.
Is Dom Solanke going to be the best forward the club has ever had?
Getting close, isn't he?
You reckon?
I think he's close, isn't he?
I mean, Ted McDougall's all right.
I don't remember him. I know it's statistically, class.
He'll be watching you and he'll be looking at that cap thinking, you're wearing a cap again, Tom.
He's obviously class, but
legend,
I'm young. I'm so young. Yeah, absolutely ledge. And Fletcher's ledge, but as a talented footballer, in terms of ability as a footballer, Dom Solanke's close, in my opinion, already, got to be close, and let's say.
Who do you think is our most underrated player this season?
Underrated, because
I mean, they're all rated, really, aren't they?
That's what I mean, because Smithy's getting the plaudits of his comeback, I think, so he's normally underrated, but I think people have seen that actually, no, he's done really well.
There aren't many that...
underrated, because Chrissy ain't underrated now.
No, he's not.
I'd actually say Tav.
Yeah.
I think because he scored so many crucial goals last season, people go, "Oh, Tav ain't as good as it." Yes, he is. I think he's got. I can't remember what the stat was. Actually, I had it on my phone. I'm gonna have a quick look, so I know that I saved it. That Tav has actually, here you go, 4 goals or assists in his last 5. Marcus Tav there, and he's played at left back, right wing back, left wing back, left mid, right mid. You know what I mean? He plays everywhere. Love Tav. Go with Tav.
We've had a comment in today. Guys, my question is, if Foley is going down the franchise football route, could you see Foley launching a Red Bull-style group in the next 10 years with AFCB being top of the group?
Kind of are anyway, aren't we?
Yeah, we kind of are, just without the sponsorship name, I suppose. So we're pretty much there already. It sounds like, by the way, this young Ecuadorian lad.
Zambrano.
Yeah, you've probably got a chant already, I know. Zambrano. It rhymes. But he's like 19, £5 million has been bandied about, that kind of amount. He was linked with Manchester United. Luton were interested in him for quite a bit. But then Foley on this CBS Golazzo interview or whatever basically says, yeah, so we've got this young lad coming. It's
South
like,
America,
hang on, like, is he saying things he's supposed to be saying here? Because we've heard nothing about it apart from what... But Foley's like almost certain that it's been rubber stamped already.
Yeah, well, I think this is what will happen though. We'll get these sort of players and they'll go out to Lorient for a bit, develop them and then get them to us when they're better.
Well, that's
Fabre
it.
will be one, won't he?
Yeah.
Probably Lorient. Hibs will obviously be involved in that as well.
And the Auckland side.
And then it sounds like a Belgian team as well. And so we're the top of that pile. So, that's probably how it's gonna go anyway, mate.
Chris Edwards from the States, corking question. It seems like this year's retro kit has been a hit. Well, it has. We've not lost in it. What other kit from the past would you like to see brought back? And I know straight away... Oh, okay.
Well, you know...
Okay, I think I know both of yours, maybe. Blue and black stripes, like Inter Milan style. Maybe green and black?
Yeah, they're the two.
Yeah.
They're the two.
The blue and black stripe one's beautiful, by the way. The
green and
A1
black
windscreens.
Yeah, green and black. I think it was like 97, 8 or something. I remember having it with Willie Huck on the back.
Well, I had David Town. Oh. No, I mean I didn't have it on the back, but I remember going to Stoke City, the Britannia as it was then. We lost 2-0 and David Town came on.
He always came on.
There was a ball that was played perfectly to him. It was a lobbed pass, but him being short went out for a throw-in, went over his head.
Yeah, he did have a best career, didn't he, up there in town. But yeah, I would go for them too, mate. Have you got any others that you can think off the top of your head that you would maybe think about? I like them too.
No, not really. I mean, those two especially. I mean, I that blue and black one, I think so. I think Vinny Goodfield, I think he's still got ears and it's in pretty good condition.
Yeah, you see him a few of them.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they're class.
Unbelievable.
They'll be the two, definitely.
Yeah, Chris Edwards, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. And that sums up the questions that we've had. So yeah, we got through them pretty quickly. We've also
no one mentioned that I go down early for a pint.
No, there was one.
Oh, fair enough.
There was one. Why does Tom miss so many goals? But we did cover that on the last show. But look, it would be quite interesting. I mean, I suppose you could probably tell by the goal times, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Although when you see Phil Billing scoring after 58 minutes at Cardiff, you probably think Tom's seen that.
Yeah, that was a dodgy one. That. But apart from that, normally
we'd all had a drink.
Yeah, I don't really care too much. I've seen more goals than most people that I know. So because I don't miss a game. So.
Exactly, and like we said, he doesn't leave on 80 minutes to avoid the traffic.
How many
until the very end?
How many have seen Brooklyn Genesini score at Norwich away?
Yeah,
about 50 of us there. All right. What a day. Best thing Todd Campbell done for us.
I can tell you who did see that one, Mike Botto.
Yeah, he was sat with us, wasn't he?
He was there, wasn't he? What a
loyal. I don't think he thought it was him though. I think he thought Alex Scott scored.
Yeah. You're horrible.
I love Botto.
So funny. We also put out a tweet asking for your topics of conversation. Heather, transfer targets, talking about any transfer targets or maybe any loans in or out. I mean, I think Kiefer...
He'll go.
Probably. Okay. I would like to see... I mean, I'm not too sure where David Brooks' future really lies, but...
You'd have to get cover, though.
You would have to get cover.
Because of Hama Traore's situation as well.
Yes, exactly. So I think he needs football regularly, and Bournemouth is not the place for him to get it.
Agreed, but I don't think we let him go unless we've got someone lined up. Same with Kiefer, really, but I do think we'll have something lined up because Kiefer needs to go and play. I think a lot of it depends on Lloyd Kelly's situation. whether he goes sign a new deal or just plays to the end of the season. Because if he does kind of what Lerma did last season, Lerma was fine, still playing and leaving. So if Kelly does that, then we probably don't need cover at the back.
Yeah.
And Hill's obviously coming back. So yeah, I don't think we all know not a lot's going to happen this window. I think the main thing will be Kiefer going out on loan and us bringing in another striker to just kind of sit there and play now and again when Dom's out or needs resting and stuff. Can't figure out on top of the head. We obviously went for Daka, but he's playing a few minutes now. Iniacho's at Leicester not really playing. He might be one you look at, but Danny Ings, a few people are looking at. Yeah, just like a backup kind of player that's happy to play second fiddle to Dom, to be honest.
Robbie Sargent, is Iraola the best in-game management coach we've ever had? I think Alex Deutsch tweet, I'm always referencing him because he always comes up with really good tweets and topics of conversation. And Robbie said the same thing here. Maybe. His changes that he seems to make are so good. I mean, it was really interesting though, like Lewis Cook being pulled back to centre back, and then at a stage, it was like Phil Bill was playing up front.
Yes,
wasn't it, when Kiefer Moore was taken off.
Yeah, he put him there for a bit, and yeah, it is very clever and does feel like that. You feel like you've got more trust in what he's doing than we've had previously, for sure. And even at the end when they go 3-2, he brings the body on, but he just moves Cook back up. He doesn't just go 5 at the back and point. So yeah, I probably agree with that at the moment, but it's early days.
Okay, and we'll zip through the last 5 minutes. Pete East, do we have a player who could replicate what Christie does in the team if he was injured?
No. Don't play that does exactly what Chris. I think we'd find a way to make it work.
Could Alex Scott be that player?
He could be give a bit more of a license to be a bit more box to box and stuff like that. I don't think we have a player that does exactly what Christie does, but we've got players that do stuff better than Christie. So we'd probably have to just tweak a few little bits and bobs.
This shows how important he is because Dan has said the exact same questions. Yeah. What are the alternatives to Ryan Christie?
I think you could. Wow. There's a world where obviously we haven't seen Tyler Adams yet, but he's not that type of player. But there's a world where you play Tyler Adams, Cook and Scott, you have a little bit more security in there, and you allow Scott to do a bit of that. So yeah, we haven't got someone that does what Christie does. No, we haven't, and I think it's very hard to find that sort of player.
James has said, I feel like even at 2-0 down, the comeback never felt in doubt. That was obviously against QPR we're talking about. I think Iraola has given his team a new lease of confidence that we've never seen before. I can also see Kelly staying the longer this good run goes on for, especially if we push for Europe. Do you agree with that?
No, I don't. No. I can see what you're saying, and I'd love that to be the case. I just think, I don't know, but I just feel like Lloyd's mind's probably made up.
But he wouldn't be the main man at wherever he goes.
No, I wouldn't have thought he'd be the main man. He'd have to drop down, which I can't see. But no, I just think he's got to a stage where he's probably ready to move on and start a new. Do you know what I mean? Whatever. So I don't personally see Lloyd Kelly staying, but if he does, then it would be amazing if he signed a new deal. But yeah, can't see it personally.
FPL Commander, should we attack each game with intent to trap our opponent upfield from the off? Doing it well, that we have a result like Manchester United, doing it at half pace, and we get a first half scoreline like at QPR.
I think you've got to remember that there's another team playing the match. Like, it's all right to say we play like we did like at Old Trafford.
We can't always be the team to dictate how the game goes.
No, because Man United were trying to knock the ball around, so we could just go, all right, sit back, bang, energy. Well, we can't do that against QPR because they let us have the ball.
But it makes a point. Should we only start with players that are fully fit for now and to play that? Because Brooks isn't that type of player. Kiefer Moore's not the type of player that will do that.
Yeah, no.
Do we need to slightly adapt the way we play when we have these players that aren't maybe applying the intensity?
Well, that's up to the gaffer in it, in terms of, you can look at it both ways. You can go, okay, because we've got these sort of players, Kiefer Moore, Brooks, as you mentioned, will tamper how we play. And then he goes, if you want to be in my team, you've got to tamper the way you play to my system. And that's what's happening at the moment. And I don't think they're quite on it, which is just one of them things, mate.
Brilliant. So there we go. We have wrapped up the Christmas leftovers. We've munched through them, and also we've got through some of your comments and questions on Twitter today for what's been a second look at a podcast that's been over an hour long. You lucky things. And look, just because there is a couple of weeks break doesn't mean the content stops here on Back of the Net, including a couple of away day shows. We've got Forest to catch up on, as well as Spurs as well. Do you know who we've got in to do the wow factors?
No, go on.
Shall I give you a clue?
No, the Aussies. We've got both the Aussies. No, I love it. Yeah,
Kieran, of course, has done Forest before, but Ryan's doing that, and then we've got Kieran doing Spurs, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. So yeah, that's going to be good for that. And also, there's going to be an extra mini vlog over the next week or so. On Friday, the development team are playing. And by the way, let's all get down there let's all
they
get
playing?
down there. Cardiff.
What, home? We're
Home.
going to Cardiff, are we? All right,
Friday, and we're gonna
get
use it
into
as a sort of mini meetup. So if you're a subscriber to the channel and why not come down, say hello, because we're going to be doing a mini vlog for the game.
When is it? What time?
Friday afternoon.
Afternoon.
Yeah, Friday, 1 o'clock at Newcastle. That's at Wimborne. AFC Bournemouth under 23s or development side playing Cardiff. Come on down because we're going to be doing a little vlog. It'd be good to put some names to faces. They got a bar there. They serve hot food, drinks, etc. And yeah, it'd be nice to see as many people getting behind the boys. We'll talk about this on a future video and on our socials as well. But if you fancy getting down there, let us know whether you're coming down there. Put it in the comments as well, because then I know which usernames are going to be actually appearing in the flesh to say hello. It would be really nice to meet some subscribers, followers, and also channel supporters as well. It's been a pleasure.
Been a pleasure, mate. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But Kilkenny ball. Yeah, it'd be good. So yeah, let's just go and watch another win, mate. I love winning. Great fun.
The Cherries, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the next one.
Goodbye. Liverpool away then. If it is, so
I better not.
It will.